Hi, it's Bob Malone, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about the Chicago Artist model trumpets. We'll get into a little bit of the specifications on those horns. We wanted to create a trumpet that would have many different color possibilities that the player could choose from, even quick response, good projection, good soft playing, good loud playing, all of those things. The Chicago C trumpet is the very first artist model trumpet. And it incorporates a Malone pipe, an MC1 lead pipe, that is the very first lead pipe that I developed. It's a reverse style lead pipe. So if I pull the tuning slide out, you can see the end of the lead pipe sticking out there. But it's a very unusual reverse style lead pipe in that I incorporated this extra tube that I call an oversleeve. And that's important because it allowed me to create a reverse style lead pipe and yet solve the problem of where do you put the bell brace. This extra tube allows me to keep the bell brace on the correct position on the bell and still have a place to solder it onto the lead pipe. This one also incorporates a brace into the first valve slide. Use a French style bell bead, which is unusual for most modern trumpets. It has a side seam, we call it, that was done, even though it's more difficult to make a bell that way because it optimizes the way the bell resonates. The Yamaha bells have a variable wall thickness that aid in the kind of sound that they produce and the flexibility and giving the player options to change colors. But the unusual thing about the Chicago series is the B-flat trumpet. We wanted to create a B-flat trumpet that was as closely related to the C trumpet as possible. And that we felt would allow the player to be able to transition from playing the C trumpet to the B-flat trumpet in the easiest way possible. If you were to measure the length of the lead pipe from the end of the receiver to the end of the taper, it's exactly the same length as on the C trumpet. It's the same taper. So for the player and the feel, they're simply playing the same lead pipe on the C as the B flat. This is unusual for a B-flat trumpet in that the taper is slightly longer than you would normally find on a B-flat trumpet. So that was one thing that we did to try to make the trumpets more alike. The other, thing that's notable is the placement of this brace. It's kind of unusual for a B-flat trumpet. And this was what we call the sweet spot for the brace. As it turns out, if you were to look at the C trumpet and you compare the position of the brace on the C trumpet to the B-flat trumpet, it's in kind of the same space, not exactly, but very close. The other thing to point out is the third valve slide. The third valve slide on the Chicago B-flat trumpet is quite a different design. It's a C trumpet style third valve slide. Is that the player can extend the third valve slide quite a bit further on the Chicago B-flat. And what this does is that it allows the player to play a low F or lower more easily. And the low F, as you know, on a B-flat trumpet is below the actual notes possible on a B-flat trumpet. And when a player has to play that note, and there are some pieces that require that, they can simply extend the third valve slide and get that low F. So that's a very unique feature on the Chicago B-flat trumpet. I think we accomplished our goal in creating a B-flat trumpet that's very similar to its relative, the C. And it's a combination that makes it quite easy for a player to transition from a Chicago C trumpet to a Chicago B flat and back and forth. Now you think maybe understand a little bit better some of the design specifications we chose to go with on the Chicago B flat trumpet. I've been involved in many different development projects, brass instrument development projects for Yamaha, more than 40. And these instruments are give so many different options. You have so many different choices. I think we can find a trumpet that fits the needs, any need that you might have. We've got the LA trumpets, we have the Z trumpets, we have the Xeno trumpets, we have the Artist model trumpets, and all of the different versions of all of those. So many good choices. But the best way to figure out the one that's best for you is to come in to the store, come into Tom Lee Music, and try them for yourselves. You really need to do that in order to figure out what's best for you. And the store has all of these different models. The staff is great. They'll work with you. And I'm sure that you'll find the one that's the right one for you that will become your new musical voice. I look forward to having you come in and try all of these great horns.